All right. Hey, friends. I was going to get outside and walk around and kind of show you the pretty spot that I'm sitting in here. I'm out by the lake again because it brings me joy. So, but I was kind of outside and I was like, oh, it's still a bit chilly, and there's a breeze blowing in off the lake. Now, those of you who know me from when I was growing up in Minnesota, or know me from my life in Alaska, are probably laughing at me right now saying, oh my goodness, it's cold outside because it's 40 degrees and there's a breeze blowing in off of the lake. Yeah, well, truth is, I've become acclimated, and I don't know if I could handle living through a winter. I mean, I was just on the phone a little bit ago with my youngest brother up in Minnesota, and he's talking about, temperatures there today. They're in the teens for a high temperature. Another friend of mine up in Alaska, he's talking about, well, we're going to go below zero again, and we got another wind storm coming. And that's just, not pleasant. I mean, when you're talking about the temperatures below zero and hurricane force winds, you're talking about some serious cold that just it'll kill you. It'll literally kill you if you go out for long periods of time in that kind of weather. Literally 2 minutes or less, exposed skin will freeze. Yeah. So, yeah, I'm wimpy, and I'm down here in the south, and it's 40 degrees with a breeze blowing in, but it's also like 80+% humid, and I'm telling you, dry cold, just like they say dry heat, dry cold you can handle if you bundle up. But wet cold? Oh my goodness. I mean, it goes right through you. It gets right to your bones. Maybe that's because I'm getting old, right? Anyway. In this video, I want to talk about a verse from the Buddha, Siddhartha Gautama. And, if you don't know a lot about Buddhism, go out there and really dig into it. There are so many opportunities to find out more about Buddhism online, maybe more than almost any other religious practice that's out there. I mean, there's more stuff on Christianity, but it's going to be a really close tie. So lots of opportunities to learn stuff. And I've put links to a lot of the main Buddhist texts on Of God and Man, my Facebook page, so you can see those things out there. And so anyway, I'm going to do another shout out to one of my very, very good friends out in Hawaii. Her name is Jude. And sometimes I think of her as my surrogate mother, and we always made jokes of that nature. I think she's 70 this year, so she would have had to been 12 when she had me, which she's kind of a wild child hippie, but I don't think she was that wild. All right. Anyway, she is one of those folks who I had always looked to because she combined Christianity and Buddhism, mostly Buddhism, a little bit of Christianity mixed in for flavor in her belief system. And I always looked at that and I said, okay, yeah, you're right. They are, if not intertwined, really in parallel. And then, as in another posting that I did out there on my Facebook page, I linked that video about the Buddhist scrolls up in Tibet that were written 2,000 years ago, which outline the belief in Isa. And if you've not seen that video, man, you really gotta watch it. And there's a whole bunch of different videos out there online about it. I would seriously go out, watch those videos, and read the translations of those scrolls, which, talk about, Yeshua, the name of Jesus, of course, in Hebrew, translated into, through multiple languages to Isa, for those folks in India and Tibet. And of course they talk about this individual who left Jerusalem, went east with these wise scholars of religion called the Magi, and worked their way through Persia and looked at all of the different religions along the way and the things that they believed. And of course, where this person had the opportunity to study about Zoroastrianism, Hinduism, and of course Buddhism, which at that point was still quite young as a belief system, about 600 years old at that time. And Isa, Yeshua, whatever you want to use as the name of this person, then studied for many years until heading back to Jerusalem to begin his ministry, according to these scrolls. And I've got to say, man, since the Bible only goes up to when Christ was 12 and talks about him then preaching in the synagogue in Jerusalem, and how amazed everyone was as he talked about, the belief system of Judaism and about Yahweh, and how blown away all of the priests were with this young child's understanding, and the fact that he had stayed there when his mother Mary and her husband Joseph left in a caravan to go back home, and then they realized he wasn't with them, and they had to go all the way back to Jerusalem to find him. They found him, of course, in the temple, and Mary is very angry with him and says, what are you doing to me here? And he said, where did you think I would be other than in the house of my father? And of course, the priests and the Pharisees heard this. It was Yeshua's first personal exclamation of his connection to the divine. And probably at that point, his parents were worried about him being persecuted. Well, of course, they go back to, to their home and try to forget about all that, right? And had his bat mitzvah where, he became a man, and they were seeking to set him up with a betrothal, as was done commonly at that time. So, maybe then that was around the same time that, according to these scrolls out there in Tibet, that other people were looking at him in a negative way, and it was time for him to get out of Israel. And then these scrolls talk about all the things that he did and studied, and how long he stayed, and when he went back, and the timeline, man, it sure coincides, right? And thinking about those things, those passages that we have read about what Christ had said, I was talking about how you could see a lot of the Hindu belief systems and Buddhism really mixed in. So I pulled out this passage by the Buddha, and where the Buddha says, "Great is the man who can conquer 1,000 men in battle, but greater is he who can conquer himself." All right? It is far better to conquer yourself than to conquer others. Yeah. Now think about how that ties back to the other things that we've been talking about. All right? I mean, it's right there. Again, the realization and knowledge that we talked about on the previous video. The fact that he who understands himself is superior to the whole world. All right? Remember, Christ said that to Thomas. And so you think of those two passages, there's a lot of connectivity there, isn't there? So as you're going through seeking to learn, seeking to educate yourself so that you can achieve that understanding, grab onto the fact that you can't just get it all from one source. All right? It's impossible. All right. Well, I'm going to leave it at that, and let you ponder, analyze those things that we just talked about. All right. Anyway, I'll see yous all later. Bye. Oh, don't forget, like, share, subscribe, all of that stuff. All right? Please. Thank you so much. I depend on you, my friends, to get this out there. See ya.